Never forget, I think we all have those moments throughout history where there's these moments where you remember where you were. You know, when you're in the college basketball coaching or playing, this is a moment that we'll never forget. It's unlike anything we've ever experienced. We understand, I think, better now. This is a global issue, much bigger than the cancellation of a tournament or particular games. I think we all understand that now.
Take us through what happened Thursday.
When we met in the hotel room, you could see just the guys were devastated. Not just Andre and Danny, who you feel for those two guys, but a lot of our upperclassmen were really, really disappointed because they knew this was one of their last opportunities. And I think they felt very good and optimistic about the way our team had right now in the closing final 5 or 6 weeks. So there was a lot of optimism going into March, which is not always the case.
You'd be disappointed if they...
It's a good question, because I do think that's an opportunity and really a responsibility that I had to explain to them the bigger picture in all this and why this was happening. No one wanted to take these moments away from our kids or any other kid that was competing. This is a global issue, and because you know, I think we all felt like we had a responsibility to make the right decision. Listen, if they told me to play on Thursday and to coach that game, I would have done it. I would have felt uncomfortable doing it. I would have felt uncomfortable coaching a college basketball game when there is an issue of this significance going on all over the world. I just don't think it would have been right. And I think that's the lesson for our guys, that they have a responsibility in their own individual way to be mindful of the role that they can play in limiting this spread. And I talked to them a little bit about how, you know, think of their grandparents and those that are maybe in a little bit of a more of a at-risk situation. And I think they all understood that. It took them a moment, because something had been taken away from them. But I think they all understand. We've got great kids who understand that.
Your season's over, so...
I think we, as you mentioned, we would have been a 4 or 5 seed. We finished the season playing, by all the metrics, top 10, top 12 basketball in the country. So we don't know what March would have held. We all know March is unpredictable. It's why it's March Madness. But I do think, as much as any team I've coached, we were very optimistic about what this team could accomplish. And it's a good step for us, but it's very much an unwritten story in what we could be. You finish with 21 wins. What could that have been moving forward? I think we'll all take from it. This was a really fun team to coach. We had some injuries and some adversity, like most teams have, more than we've ever had. But really, really felt strong about this group and how we finished.
It looks like, you know, as we sit here talking, it looks like the NCAA is going to give an extra year of eligibility to this.
I think it should be a consideration for sure. I get it, it's a tougher call, right? We're talking about 90% of the season already being played, whatever those percentages are. It's a tougher call for them to make. I think when you put so much, we all put so much into March Madness. It's why it's a goal for all of us. So to have that taken away from seniors, Andre put so much into this season, as did Danny. Obviously, Andre is our only scholarship senior, but he and Danny are both significant contributors to our team. So I think it's a consideration that should be made. I'd have to probably take a step back. I'm not in the NCAA's shoes. Obviously, we'd love for that to happen. And I can see reasons for it. I can also understand there's probably some other things that go into making those decisions.
Sure.